Good evening, everyone. I wanted to give a quick update. There were a few important developments in the last week. The first one is that the Eurodollar yield curve inverted. And this is usually a symptom of a worldwide liquidity crunch in the dollar. The Eurodollar is the euro deposits or euro loans that foreign banks or non-US banks create. And when it inverted the last time in 2018, there was a significant correction in the stock market, and that was called the taper tantrum, because back then the Fed tried to taper the quantitative easing. And if you've been following, the Federal Reserve has been trying to taper again. So they reduced their QE purchases in November. And the Fed chairman recently said that they will accelerate perhaps the tapering in the coming months. And so the question that I'm asking is whether there's another taper tantrum in the cards. In addition to that, over the last week, there was something called the gamma flip. And that is a vicious cycle of amplification. What happens is that when you have a positive gamma, then when investors are optimistic, the dealers sell. And so you have this balancing mechanism. And when investors are pessimistic, dealers buy. So the volatility remains fairly low, and those are the normal times. But when investors become too pessimistic, then we flip to a negative gamma where the dealers also sell. So the investors sell, and then the dealers are forced to sell even more. And then we get this extreme volatility, and this is where we are right now. So we are in a situation where selling begets more selling. And then another reminder that we're in the bubble of all times. This is a chart of the price of US stocks to GDP. And what it shows is that stocks are the most expensive in history relative to economic activity. And so starting from this very top, the next one is the 2000 tech bubble. And you can see how deep it fell. And so this one is not as high, but even a deeper fall into the 2009 financial crash. And so you can imagine what might follow. And so the triggers right now creates a situation where the risks are kind of tilted to the downside. We have negotiations with Iran that have been halted due to no development. We have tensions in Ukraine between Russia, US, and Ukraine. We have the taper tantrum and the Eurodollar yield curve inversion, the gamma squeeze or flip. And in addition to that, we have end of year tax setting. And so if you are not scared already, then boo. Thank you and have a great week.